Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Schoolstone. Leaves classes in session. We're welcoming you for your weekend matches, your first round of Saturday afternoon matches. Today I'm joined by JRJuggerLaw. How are you doing, JR?
Good. Ready to see some Hearthstone cards be figuratively thrown onto the field or something like that.
Nice. And joined by basedinc as usual. How are you doing, Based?
Yeah, just enjoying a nice, Saturday afternoon.
Nice. We have quite the two matches for you today. We're going to start with a hero match. We're having TerdHerder from DadLegends versus some Shansui from ATL, followed by a wild match, Itachi from F2L Veridian versus Lefty from Patches' Payback. So let's start talking a bit about our hero match. These are both players who've been in THL for a few seasons now. Shansui's been even longer than I have, and they've both had they're five seeds, but they've done pretty well for themselves. They're very known five seeds, right?
Yes. These are both players who have won at least one THL championship. Shunsui actually was part of, actually won the Legacy Championship in his very first season, going all the way back to 2017. So he's a very seasoned player. And then, of course, Turd was part of the winning DadLegend roster from last season in Hero.
Yeah. Instead of us talking about them, we thought we would bring them to do a quick hello. So I'm going to add them to the call just to have a little bit of friendly banner. Just see what they want to talk about each other and how excited they are for the match. And we'll see what they think. I believe TerdHerder's here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you guys just fine.
Welcome. Shansui should be joining soon. He said he was excited to talk here. So, how are you feeling about today's match?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think I would like it a little bit better if DadLegend was in a winning circumstance going into this match, but I play for points either way, so that's the game plan today.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, this was bound to happen at some point. You know that.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
I mean, Yellow Dart wouldn't say that, but and won't acknowledge it. But I know you do.
If anything, I thought I was going to be the first one to break it. But fortunately, that was not my privilege to have.
Yeah.
Privilege or inevitability?
We'll see.
Is Shinsui here? I believe he's just joined the call.
I believe, yes.
It is I, the Shadow Seed.
Welcome to Schoolstone.
Damn.
How are you feeling about
Also, wrong card
match?
game.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Got some exercise in this morning. Did some weightlifting in the Shadow Realm. Got my Millennium items ready to go. Somebody's
Nice.
going to the Shadow Realm.
Oh damn. He's got the avatar for it too, so that's a little frightening, I won't lie. I feel like if I don't root for him, he's gonna send me to the Shadow Realm regardless of what happens.
Yes. The Shadows need souls.
Nice intimidation factor. I respect that.
Mad respect. Black fist emoji.
I mean, it's okay. So Shunsui thinks that darkness is his ally. He merely adopted the Shadow Realm.
Oh no.
I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't even see light until I was already a man. By then, it was nothing to me but blinding.
See, Turd, here's the thing. I would 100% approve of that rebuttal if that line wasn't often used more often for laughs than for actual serious conversation.
Oh come on! I'm not going to seriously like trash talk Shunsui. We're good buds. We've
No.
had many
But it's like no. I'm more saying like using that line doesn't exactly help your case right now. I'm just saying.
That's all good.
Now's not the time for fear, Doctor. That comes later.
Oh damn! Shots are being fired, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. Nah, I told
Okay.
my guy, man, it wasn't that, man. This is gonna be fun with losing draws.
So I was saying though before you guys came in the call, how it's funny we have two former champions in the 5 seed playing against each other.
That's true.
Even though although correct me if I'm wrong, Shinsway, you've only won in Legacy, not Hero, right?
I have 2 championships. I won with Booty
With the
Sweat and
Stubs.
the Texas Stubbies.
Yep.
And I actually, well, so Dad Legend has won a Hero Series, but I was not on the team last season.
Shout out
Wait,
to
you
Dad
weren't? I
Legends.
thought you were.
I was on the Legacy team. This is the first
damn
season
it.
that I'm doing
Yeah.
both.
Wait, then who was the 5 seed last season?
The Unbelievable Sage.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that was cheating in the 5, but
Yeah, that explains so much
Yeah.
now. I don't know why. See, when Sage is in the 5 seed, you never forget that, and I forgot that. So I guess Sage, I apologize.
Shout out to my dog, Sage. Are we live right now, or are we just conversating?
We are. Well, we have a 10-minute delay, but we are live, so we're talking on stream. We'll start the match soon. I just wanted to ask, do you guys have any last comments, any last encouragement words, any memories you want to relive from your last heated match that you still haven't gotten over?
Me and Terry I think we casted like two or three matches or something like that. It's been a while since we actually played, man. I'm ready, man. It's been a journey. Like this, I've dueled like I think like 3 or 4 comrades this season already, and we're in week 3, so that's 6 matches. This will be match 6, and I'm pretty sure half of them have been against guys that I respect, appreciate, and like rivals, comrades. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same.
We love to see that here. That's part of why we love this
Absolutely.
community,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Shensui's definitely comrade was the right word, because I think we did the casting tutorial with, I think it was Saku together.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
And then we did our first casting. So this will be fun. He did get the best of me, so we'll see if I can turn it around this time, even up the series.
Well, Turd, everybody keeps saying this, and I will not disagree with them, is that you've really been improving as a player. So I feel even with the PR difference, nobody should sleep on you right now. And I don't think Shunsway is either.
Oh, no,
I hope that's what people think. But it's been a long journey, and I definitely appreciate joining Dad Legend when I did, because I think that was striking while the iron was hot. I think my first week I joined them, I hit the old rank 6, which was the highest at the time. So just really trying my best here, and we'll see what happens.
Well, you finally hit legend, so that's a nice start.
Well, that too, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, were you? Do I have to bring it up, or is he gonna say?
I'm too humble for that. Come on.
All from his young beginnings back at BDSM.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, Lotus was.
I was gonna say though, to quote the legend known as Kendrick Lamar, "Bitch, be humble and sit down."
I won't take too long because we do have 2 matches. So I feel like at this point my hair is so long from quarantine that I feel like a Yu-Gi-Oh character, and I can't say it's time for the duel. So
face reveal, inevitable face reveal.
I'll thank Shinsui and TerdHerder for the initial words. We'll have both of you back after the match. So I'll ask you guys to shortly leave the call so we can just talk a bit and you can start queuing each other, etc., etc.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks again for the cast, guys.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Appreciate the time, man. We're gonna get our game on, like my boy Jaden.
Do it.
Go for it.
Do it.
Alrighty.
So, what are you guys expecting for this one? What decks should we see? I think, well, it's Tempo Demon Hunter, it's Egg Warrior or Rampage Warrior. Now you have...
There's so many different names for it, I've lost track.
Yeah, I call it Enrage Warrior, because Egg is not always core, and Enrage kind of covers all the builds.
Yeah. The deck itself has been interesting, and I'm very curious to see what happens after the nerfs.
Yes. Well, we'll talk about the nerfs later, but let's see.
Of course.
Think about these other 2 classes. So we have the Rogue and the Hunter for Shansui, and the Warlock and the Hunter for TerdHerder. What do you guys expect here from them?
Double Warrior ban.
Yeah, do you think you expect the same base?
Yeah, I think that with the double warrior ban, the hunter becomes like the big focus because that probably has the highest. The Demon Hunter as well. So I'm really interested to see, if you choose to go the Highlander Hunter there, you kind of have a sweep if you can knock out the Demon Hunter, and if you go Face Hunter as TerdHerder, especially, you have a really good shot at getting a sweep against the Demon Hunter, Hunter and Rogue.
Yeah, I think I really like the idea of going Face for TerdHerder there. I think if he can go Face, he's looking really well over there, and it's going to be all about, can Shunsui make his decks anti-Face Hunter, basically.
Yeah, that's the thing. For Turd, to me, for both of them, the Warrior ban seems obvious, because for Shunsui, the Druid Hunter Rogue Warrior lineup is generally generally you ban the Warrior because it's pretty favored against Hunter and Rogue. And for Turd, he's going to want to go Face Hunter to give himself the best chance against Demon Hunter and Rogue, but then he'll want to ban the Warrior so that doesn't become as much of an issue. So I'd be surprised, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Shunsui built the Rogue, because that's the deck that I feel like has most directions you can go. It's going to be a Galakrond build, but it can be a Galakrond with secrets, it can be a Galakrond without secrets, it can be Highlander. It's hard to say which direction he's going to take there, or if he's going to try something super crazy. Okay, surprising no one, it's a double Warrior ban.
I will say also with Rogue, I'm curious to see, people are kind of generally expecting Galakrond's Secret Rogue, but people have been bringing Highlander Rogue in Pro, as well as the new Galakrond Rogue with Questing Adventurer and Umbral Stalker.
Yeah, I think the idea behind behind bringing Galakrond or Highlander Rogue is you can target slow decks really well, so it's really, really good against Priest, way better than anything else.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to have the best stats on its side, though. It seems to be a deck that often struggles because you don't often play the fully evolved Galakrond, and even though there's some very powerful tools in there, it's not necessarily the most consistent. I feel like other Highlander decks personally have a bit more cohesion, where I feel like they're often going to be consistent and get me a lot of great plays going. Highlander Rogue, I feel like, because it's trying to be a Galakrond deck and a Highlander deck, it can be a bit tricky. I kind of felt the same way with trying to do a Highlander Quest Shaman. Highlander Galakrond Quest Shaman.
That's true. I believe
trying to actually get all the triggers is hard.
I think so. If you try too much stuff in Hearthstone, it's going to be really hard. That's something that happens. So you kind of need to play it more as, I don't want the full Galakrond, I just want part of it. I believe they're going to start soon. I will be start queuing into Shunsui. So Shunsui goes first.
Okay.
I
will just say this. In terms of Rogue, getting a free Dragon Queen Alexstrasza off of one of your cards is pretty amazing, so I can understand the interest in going that route.
Right. And you also have Shadow Step, so you can do a lot with that.
And we are in.
Let's go. It's going to be Demon Hunter versus Hunter to lead us off.
Yep, I'm just trying to get the Shunsui spec so I can start.
Same. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, Turd's got a pretty interesting hand to start.
It looks like Shunsui has a bug that has caused his friends list to be blank.
Oh no. That's unfortunate.
I'm just asking if he can go to options and turn it on. Well, we'll start by going with TerdHerder then, so we can get the first match, and might have them just leave for a quick second so he can restart.
Turd is actually playing the lifesteal weapon, the Eldrachi Wardblade, so I'm pretty surprised about that.
Yeah, I think that's actually a nod to this matchup, because if you can just get some of that extra heal, you can flip it and kill the hunter. So this could really change this matchup if this is a face.
Yeah, I guess he's thinking it can be helpful for tempo strategy.
I think it's a lot also about the healing. The healing really helps in this kind of matchup.
Well, right, that's what I mean. Something that goes in line with the tempo strategy, because it gives him both lifesteal and some decent damage. but it's going to be a question of like how much can he combo with that card to really get the full use out of it. So Shunsui played tracking last turn. Not sure what he got, but it looks like okay, he's just going to hero power.
So just as a reminder, if anyone's turning on now, there was a little hiccup with the Blizzard client, and just so you guys know, in the bottom is TerdHerder, in the top it is Shunsui. We cannot see his cards, so we're waiting for after this match where we'll have him restart so he can fix that really quick. This is an interesting turn for TH.
Yeah.
I like his idea to just go wide. You know, you don't really need to heal. They didn't remove any of your board.
Yeah.
Kind of gets punished, but the in hand if it's there, explosive trap, because you know it'll buff the weapon. But
you have to be very careful about that, and especially because now he knows he could either have it in hand or he could play it off of a face stalker since it's turn 4.
Right.
Yeah. You know, you get to trade a little bit off for your board, but yeah, it looks like that's going to be the explosive trap.
I will just say I'm surprised that this seems to be, or maybe it's not because he's killing off the fortune.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Oh no, actually that ended up being a good play.
Yeah, with a beaming sidekick in hand, that changes things. Is he going to
that's
play
probably
around
why
it?
He did, actually. Yeah, I'm going to assume that's what he did because he knows. Okay, yeah, that was a good play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he just didn't want to take a chance because he knows beaming sidekicks being played. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, that's a smart play. Ended up being correct and paying off right there, just so you don't get to face a pretty healthy guy. Just.
I wonder what his hand is like, though, that he didn't really do anything turn 2. You'd think in Face Hunter he would have had it play.
That's true. Did Shunsui not go with the Face Hunter? I wonder.
I would assume it's Face Hunter just based on the cards we've seen so far.
Right.
But either way, Shunsui is going to kill off the Adept with a kill command, and Turd's still in a pretty good spot though.
I think he's in a really good spot. He can just Itachi clear that and get the healing off.
Battle Lord. I would just play the Warblades. I don't think he doesn't need to play the Battle Lord yet.
No, and Battle Lord plus double sidekick is a lot of healing. If you were afraid of Shunsui out aggroing you, that's not going to happen right now.
Yeah, I'm very much wondering, did Turd specifically design his deck to have more resilience by playing cards like the Battle Lord and the Warblades?
I could see it. I think it's a good time for us to talk about Scavenger's Ingenuity. What did you guys think about that card change?
Definitely needed.
Yes.
Yeah. If it had been like a few weeks ago, I might not have said that, but no, it definitely needed to be done.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why. I think that you're still going to play it, but you'll probably cut the boars, is my what I'm thinking.
Oh, very much so. 3 damage is from well, I think it's gonna be. I think people are gonna play less of it simply for the reason that the biggest thing about Boar was the fact that you felt like it was worth playing. You felt like it was worth playing playing them, knowing, oh, if I get them off Scavenger's Ingenuity, that's a 4/4. It's still worth playing a 1/1. But I think now people might think, not necessarily as worthwhile if I'm only getting a 3/3 out of that combo.
Yeah, so you just cut the boar, but you still play it because it's still an insane card. Just giving 2/2.
The question is like, what kind of beast do you put in response, like in its place? I mean,
I think you can just go back to just Zixor and the Face Stalker and be happy with that.
Yeah, it's going to be different for Face Hunter. Yeah, I don't know if Face Hunter continues.
If you play Zixor, it's going to be a bit of a slower deck, but that's is what it is.
Yeah, like the Dragon Hunter that was playing in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh my God. So look at what TerdHerder's got going on right now. He's got 2 Chaos Strikes on a Warblades, and he's about to deal 6 with Shunsui. I agree with that play, actually.
I think it's interesting. I think it's correct, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I think if Shunsway's health was a bit higher, I would be singing a very different tune right now.
Hmm.
But I'm sure he's sort of thinking about it as, hey, I can nearly put him down to, I can nearly kill him next turn, and I have a way to deal with the boar more efficiently than using the Warblade. So yeah, why don't I do that?
I think one thing that I noticed is he did earlier, and I consider that a big mistake because by playing the sidekick earlier, he would have had a bigger lifesteal guy, and that's just so valuable against Face Hunter. I think that was an
agree.
underuse.
I think he just didn't really consider how. I think he just didn't consider like how the likelihood of Shunsui having an out to a 3/7 taunt, like without like having to give him a bunch of life in the process, and Shunsui was able to clear that pretty efficiently, only needing to throw in one minion.
Right.
Because he had the second kill command. So I agree with you, but I can also understand how that was not something that was particularly crossing Turd's mind. But he sees he does have a way of clearing this board right now, even though he will take some damage, unfortunately. But he's also going to be gaining some life due to both the I-Beam and the Warblade. So I think it works out pretty nicely.
Well, I don't think he clears the whole thing. I think he's going to let the board live. He's just going to take the Face Stalker, and
that's
then...
actually fair, yeah. So he's going to go face. He's got to clear at least one of these, though. He knows that.
I don't like that choice that much. I think I prefer to kill the Face Stalker just because it's a bigger...
Yeah, more damage. I agree.
Also,
but I disagree with him not playing the beaming sidekick here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what... Yeah.
There's no reason to keep that in hand, I think.
No, there isn't.
Make it resilient.
Especially with this.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he didn't have another secret he could play, so he didn't lose that much off of the... not killing the Face Stalker, but yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's fine also because Shunsui knew he had to trade into it or else he dies.
Yeah, I think that's game, though. With the Kingstone Fury and the Shadow Weaver, you can just clear and freeze, and that's kind of game against the Face Hunter.
Pretty much. I don't think there's anything he can draw that would save him.
No. And you can trade or go face. I don't actually think it matters at all here. Going face is probably correct, just because it ends.
Going face is definitely correct, because there's nothing he can draw that can deal so much damage.
Yeah. But it's not like the other option would change much.
A good effort from Shunsui, but unfortunately he is going to go down.
Yeah. We'll give them,
the Demon Hunter.
We'll give them some time to fix... make sure he can fix his client. So just as a note, we did have Shunsui lose with his Hunter. He was in the top, even though his name said in the bottom because of some Hearthstone issues. Oh, we always like those.
Indie game, etc.
Shunsui is just restarting. We'll have her back really fast. Okay, so does Shunsui losing his Hunter hurt him a lot in this match, or not really?
I don't know what can come in and beat this Demon Hunter reliably. It is built a little slower, so maybe the Rogue actually has a better time coming in, or even your Demon Hunter, because it doesn't play as much initiative. You're kind of cutting to go heavier, so maybe that's the thinking coming up.
Link tech was so real. Hey, yeah, I'm about to reload now, man. I don't know what was wrong with my spectator. Like, I couldn't click on anything. It was weird.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
You're good.
All right, I'm about to get back to it.
Go for it. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is the thing. It's unfortunate because his Face Hunter, in theory, could have swept everything. But, I mean, you never know with these matchups. I would say... probably the best thing to do right now is to go for Demon Hunter next, because that's probably going to still have good matchups across the board.
Right.
Whether or not TerdHerder's Demon Hunter is going to match up better against regular Demon Hunter, I don't know. I would probably give the edge to Shunsui there, just because I think the techs that Turd's using are better for dealing with decks like Hunter, very aggressive aggro decks, as opposed to dealing with like the mirror. So
I don't know,
maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm curious.
It is healing. Healing is important in the mirror, because you are going to win by basically taking their life down, not by building a board and having a lot of trades. It's a lot about surviving the burn in the end.
You are
So
correct.
healing can be really important in the mirror.
The only thing I would say is in rebuttal to that is that when it comes to the difference between Demon Hunter and Hunter is the fact that Demon Hunter has a bit more draw power, a bit more as far as resilience if they start to kind of run low on cards, a bit more ways of regaining more momentum. With Hunter, they don't. So I think Demon Hunter can kind of still pull out and pull out an upset from that, from being in a not so advantageous position.
We do have the start of game 2 though. Shunsui playing the Rogue versus TerdHerder still in his Demon Hunter. And here was something curious. Shunsui actually tossed his Hanar.
Yeah, I don't like that. Even if it's just
I don't like that either.
That's really big.
Yeah,
Hanar
you really
is kind
want
of ridiculous.
That
There's
card
a reason
is
it's getting nerfed.
I think Avi talked really well when I asked him about that card once, and he just put, yeah, we lost 2 mana, 1/5, win the game. It's just so good. There's no way.
It's like, if you don't have this is basically, this is the exact same reason they nerfed a Miscreant. It's like, if you didn't have an immediate answer to it, it was so problematic at times. And Hanar is arguably even worse.
I would say so, yeah. Have an interesting turn here. What do you guys think? Do you guys want the Grand Mummy or the Secret?
I like the Grand Mummy.
Yeah, same. I like it better now because he's not going to have as easy of a way to deal with it.
Right.
Like, compared to later on. And now Turd has the choice, has to either kill it and let it buff something, or kill the Pharaoh Cat and like let him potentially do other things. So it'll be interesting. I mean, this is a really good play with the beaming sidekick though, because now actually, never mind. I was gonna say, like, play the... Oh, wait, do you still play the Seal Fate? Okay, yeah, that's fine.
No, I think that you probably praise Galakron eviscerate the 2.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
That sounds better, but...
I mean, it works out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still not particularly worried for Shunsui because he's got some invokes in his hand. He's got Galakron for later. I think he'll be in pretty good shape. But he definitely needs to do something about this board, and oh my, that's a nice draw.
You can just play the Lackey here, followed by the Miscreant, and start the Miscreant stuff. Just get a bunch of Lackeys in your hand and win because of that. That's basically one of the ways
This is
win.
really good. He gets some damage off the board, and he plays the Miscreant. Gets some more...
and you get both of the Lackeys. I actually really like this combination here, because the summon a 2-drop is really good against Demon Hunter, and against cards that don't want to deal, or decks that don't want to deal with a big board this early on.
Yeah. Now, Shunsui's going face. I think that's the right play, but he's not really going to have now an easy way of clearing this taunted up Miscreant. I
don't think he will.
I don't know if that's the right play because of the, double Lackeys. They typically have a way to use that big body, and, if you're playing Priestess, it's going to come down and soak up a bunch of damage because you never get to clear it. And especially with the hand, like, you're not clearing off this Miscreant possibly ever for the foreseeable future. So I'm not sure. I do also really like dropping the Secret. Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you can just play it here.
Because I feel like if he's gonna play the Kobold Lackey, better play the Ambush to have a potential answer to a minion, whatever he decides to do.
Right.
I guess he's thinking I can. Oh yeah, if he plays the Ultras now, he can play Skull next turn for Outcast. So that's pretty good. Ooh.
I don't think you want to Tri-Beam that one.
Yeah, I think that was. I don't know if he rushed that or if he just really wanted to whittle down the Miscreant. But yeah, I would have definitely not. I definitely would not have done that.
No. Ooh, that Bone Wraith is really good.
That Bone Wraith is going to be huge. I think he should have held on to the Poison Dude and just traded in the Miscreant.
You hold on for it, and you can play the Faceless because you're probably going to Galakron. You can Galakron early; it's fine.
It is fine. It's just it's iffy because it's like, do you risk the draws or do you just play it so you can further develop? Probably further develop.
Yeah,
it's always a tough call. I feel like because you never want to. Okay, see now he's got the dirty tricks, and I'm like maybe he should play that.
I don't think so. I think you Galakron right here, try and take the tempo up front.
Fair.
I think draw 2 free cards is already really good, so you're fine just going that route.
And he got a dirty tricks off of that. Oh, okay, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, you can play a 6/6. It's fine.
I think that's pretty good. Even with the freezes, that's still going to be a threat.
Yeah.
Going face, interesting. I would have probably cleared off the 1/2, but that's fine.
I think it's such a good trade into the 1/2 that I would have taken it myself.
Turd looking like he's thinking about Metamorphosis. I'm not sure how I feel about that, though.
It's not a point where you can just go for the lethal and the rogue will be fine. Really think if you go for it, just say Metamorphosis, I'm giving up on tempo for now. It's not looking good. The fact that he had to play Altruist that early is really hurting him.
I mean, it technically was worth it just because of the putting the skull online, but yeah, it definitely had its weaknesses for him and drawbacks as well.
Yeah, he was in that really unfortunate position of
Hello? Okay, sorry, we're having some audio issues. We'll let you watch the match while we'll be right back. Okay, now I believe JR and Based are back on. Are you guys here?
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you. I'm just putting your audio for everyone.
Gotcha. Okay. So Shunsui is trying to develop the board here.
If you want to taunt up the Edwin also, that would be very swell.
I 100% think he should do that. 100%.
Yeah. Develop another couple lackeys. Oh, I would have preferred.
Oh, interesting. I get it in a way because he wants it to live, but
But you could have traded off the rusher into the 2/2 and then the Pharaoh into the 4.
I think he was probably looking at it too much from the perspective of they can't clear my 6/6 Van Cleave, when he should have been thinking about it from a perspective of you're giving a 6/6 +2 health and taunt, and like that could be that's super valuable in a matchup like this.
Yeah, it makes it harder for it to clear. You can't get like a metamorphosis ping on it, and that way it kind of sticks around, and only Kane's gonna get around it without soaking up the 8 damage.
Exactly.
Like at this point, you're probably not losing board. Altruist is gone, so you can just
exactly.
Keep pushing board advantage, and that could be false. Like there could be a Chaos Nova. Like this is a really defensive deck, so. Maybe that's just what TerdHerder's playing towards.
Possibly. I mean, I guess at the very least, Shunsui knows that, even if he doesn't have a taunt, that Edwin is sticking around. But I really think he should start thinking about, hey, I hope I get another taunt lackey to buff that up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that last turn would have been a good time to just hit that hero power button instead of just playing as many lackeys, just to start developing some more stuff. You don't really need a ton of 1/1s.
Oh, that's really good though. That evasive Draconid would be amazing here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think either of the evasives are fine. Yeah, I think he wants to.
I mean, the worm is going to be great for that, for the Battle Lord. That'll be a fantastic answer to that. So I don't think it was a bad call.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I also kind of just like developing it, and it's very worth considering not even trading with it because it could get traded off by the weapon and just holding a Divine Shield 5/3.
That's all. Yeah, it is very powerful. What do you think here? I would say he takes the Shiv for the extra draw power.
Yeah, I like the Shiv. Just getting a little bit deeper in your deck. I think that's the Togwell scheme is the one I was considering kind of the least. I think you're going to win off the board here.
I mean, if he does manage to get a Kronks in there, I absolutely think that would be amazing. But yeah, he also just eviscerates for extra damage, and I get that he has another one in hand, but I really don't get why he didn't just bother to play. Why he didn't just play Dirty Tricks there?
Yeah, I like the Dirty Tricks, and I think that if you just draw Kronks, you probably just win this game. I think it just closes the door right there. So
yeah, you're either going to play the 8/8 taunt, or you're going to give yourself more life and deal damage to them. So, or you're going to buff everything on the board. I think Kronks is just what you're looking for right now.
Yeah, this is kind of where the TerdHerder's choice to go this heavier deck is kind of backfiring. Can't play both, where typically that would have been like a 3-mana minion or something else as the Battle Lord.
This is where it feels really good to have 6 health.
Yes.
Because Van Cleave, sticking around.
Just enough to stay out of the Metamorphosis range.
And I love that I'm being proven wrong by the thought of waiting to play Galakron to fully invoke it, because it's working out extremely well for Shunsui in this game.
Yeah, he only drew the one more invoke. I think if you have it on 7 and it's doubly invoked, you probably just rip it right there because it's not getting better for a long time.
But plus, it's also really powerful as far as being able to. Once you play it, you can get a free lackey every turn, basically.
Yeah, that is really huge.
But yeah, Turd is trying to draw for outs, and he is not getting them.
He can clear up the outlets.
Yeah.
And then play a Battle Lord, which might make you think you live, but the Evasive Worm and the Eviscerate in hand will just end this game.
That is correct, yeah. So Shunsui's picking for that Evasive Worm actually worked out fantastically.
Yeah.
And he's going to tie this set up 1-1. I think this was a prime example of a situation where, because Turd's deck was a bit less aggressive, Shunsui was able to take advantage of the ability to really build up board presence and hand presence through Rogue, because it seems like that's where Rogue often struggles. As the game progresses, they just get better and better, so you need to finish them off quickly. And normally that's why Demon Hunter has such a high win rate against them.
Yeah. So Demon Hunter, the mirror, and the Rogue is get down quick and get wide quick, and then push that advantage, snowball into your late damage. The way you win the mirror is Umberwing. You just Umberwing on 2, and you are winning that game most of the time if they don't have the response. And I'm not sure if we saw an Umberwing for Turd, so it might be cut to make space for the lifesteal weapon or something else. But that's such a huge card in these tempo matchups.
Yeah, I was very curious if he was playing a second weapon besides the Warblades, because you'd think that with Demon Hunter they were, but I guess,
Yeah, I imagine it was also an Umberwing, and we just never saw it, because it doesn't make sense to have the heavier weapon when you're playing for that control-ish strategy. And I do like the Hunter coming out to contest this.
Right, but now, of course, TerdHerder is going to go for the obvious counter cue of the Hunter, and it looks like he's playing Face Hunter.
Yeah. I think that as the rogue, you toss this whole hand. You could consider praised if you had another thing to buff with it, and I think for Turd, you're just keeping the Dwarven, maybe the Battle Mage if you want to just play that on one.
He is playing. He does decide to keep the Ambush, which I guess that's not bad because it does allow you to. It does allow you to keep tempo in some respects, but I mean we'll see.
Yeah, I like tossing it back and finding something just a little bit stronger. You know, something you can be a little bit more reactive with.
Yeah.
I just want to see the Face Stalker come down. You saw the backstab. You saw full mulligan, so it's not likely it's a Seal Fate in hand.
Exactly.
Or you didn't see the full mulligan. That's right, because he kept the amber.
Right. But I guess he's also thinking, well, he has coin. He would definitely coin out Seal Fate in that case, so we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You definitely would. But
and that's a little awkward.
Yeah. I think that this is fine. You know, it lets you trade with it, but if you had played the Face Stalker a little bit before, you could have been in a better spot.
So here's what I'm wondering, because if he clears off does he actually want to hold on to that so it can be bamboozled, or do you just?
I think you would rather bamboozle the Shielded Galakron. So if you're not just setting up the bamboozle and clearing with the minion, you backstab and trade, and force a little bit of removal on this 2/1.
Ooh, yeah, okay. I was gonna say it's unfortunate because Turd does have the answer to. Oh no, he's not even gonna play the bamboozle. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to coin it because then you have but turn 4.
Right, that's true. And he does have and he will want to coin the Shielded Galakron next turn, so that's actually pretty valid.
Yeah, pretty likely. You know, maybe a Devoted Maniac gets picked up and that changes it.
Mm-hmm. Is this a Eaglehorn Bow into Boar to clear that off turn?
I kind of like that. I also don't mind Scrap Shot going face as another play. It's not ideal, but I think that this is a better. You know, it's more tempo than the Scrap Shot just going face or clearing off the 2/1. But
right. No, I agree with you there. That's pretty fair. But now Shunsui is going to put out the turn 4 coined Shielded Galakron. That's going to be definitely difficult for Turd to get by. Okay, he draws the Scavenger's Ingenuity. I'm pretty sure he just has the one Face Stalker left, so that's his only target left for this. Very unfortunate that he drew both of his boars so early, even with the Scrap Shot in hand.
Yeah, I kind of like just Scrap Shot weapon trade and go face with a 4/4 boar. And next turn you can Scavenger's Ingenuity of 5/6 and hero power.
That's true. Yeah,
as the kind of setup.
Right.
But
I guess maybe he probably wants to guarantee that the Scrap Shot is going to buff the boar. So next turn you could go Scrap Shot into Scavenger's Ingenuity.
True. Yeah, I forgot about Face Stalker. Could soak it up, and he's choosing that he wants to get off hopefully a secret trigger, the explosive trap, and buff the weapon.
This is really good. I mean, he doesn't get the taunt lackey that he would really want right now. Oh, that's unfortunate. Turd draws the second explosive trap. I don't think he's playing any other secrets, I imagine. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, it could be a misdirection. I think Turd has decided that he's really got to squeeze every little last bit of damage out, which good catch. But I think we're about to see an 8/8 Edwin. So I'd like to see.
He is going to play
the explosive trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that you probably should have swung before playing all these 1/1s, unless you want to try and play around Unleash the Hounds. You're getting low, so Unleash the Hounds could deal a ton of damage. So that could also be the knock here. So if he swings here, I really like it. Yep.
Okay. That's a good... Oh, he didn't mean to do that. I mean, it does kind of work out, though.
It's going to work out. That is potentially going to save damage if there was another one. on this other side of it. Big
That's
pickup.
a really good card to hit off of the Faceless Lackey.
Yeah, I think you swing with the weapon potentially. I don't think you're ever trading off weapon with the weapons anymore.
No, this is actually a really good draw. That Scrap Shot is going to buff up that board even more.
Yeah, I like going face though.
Yeah, I don't like this. I think he's trying to trade it into the Edwin, but
pushing 15 damage this turn, set them to 3.
Right, exactly. He could have pushed a lot of damage and then just put Shunsui on a clock. Maybe he's realizing that now.
Yeah, if there's no taunt, that was a game with just the weapon the following turn.
Yeah.
Or even
it's
just
not like
explosive
has
trap.
Heal.
Hero power checkmate.
Yeah, that's that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's hard though, because sometimes when you play face deck, a lot of players, like myself included, you're very much oriented on board control, and then you kind of realize, that's
gonna work out.
Ooh, that's not gonna work out well. That is not working out.
I think that's really unfortunate, and went from an unlosable position to really opening the door for Shunsui to get back in there.
Now, the thing is, I can't tell, did he attack it because he thought it was a bamboozle, or did he attack it because he wanted it to die off to the explosive trap? Neither of which made a whole lot of sense, because you're still sacrificing damage for nothing. And if it was, even if you're hoping it'll die to the explosive trap, in what realm does Shunsui go face?
I mean, eventually he has to. Like you have him on the clock at this point.
Exactly.
Especially if you put everything face last turn. He should have known that it was bamboozle at that point. He played a spell, he summoned a minion, so it was just bamboozle left. But I think that at some point that you don't have board, you'll never have board again. You're a face deck, you're not drawing cards, you can't put big stats on the board. So just committing to the going face would have been pretty much unbeatable. The Galakron in hand isn't that big of a play other than healing for 5 here.
Right. But it's still, that 5 armor is quite relevant, and he gets a Shield of Galakron. That is a really good pull off of that.
That is huge.
That is pretty much everything he wanted off of that.
Yes.
But as I was just trying to say, it's just, I find with Face Hunter, like spoilers, I got swept by Ducharmo my legacy match with playing Face Hunter. And the problem with that deck is, like, I didn't go about my my plays the right way, because I'm so focused on board control and not necessarily as much of an expert playing such aggressive decks. So it's very easy to lose sight of how often you need to go face, regardless of how much you don't like the fact that you're keeping a fair bit of your opponent's board alive.
Yeah, it's, like, you have kind of a limited window to kill. You have a set amount of damage, and so you've either got to find a way to stretch out that little bit more, like we saw TerdHerder squeezing in hero powers, which really paid off in the end. The turn, not going turn 2 face stalker, hero powering there, set him up to finish the game in that spot, and he didn't commit to that plan. So it's kind of knowing the game's overall game plan and really sticking to it that allows you to win with the deck.
Yes. And that's the thing, like, I don't, like, just for the record, we are not trying to harp on Turd too much. Like, we have a lot of respect for him as a player, and we love him to pieces, and I'm not just saying that because I, too, am a legitimate Hearthstone lawyer. But it's just, I guess it's just important to us that we point out plays like this, because it's very easy for people to kind of get, just in any situation, get lost in what's happening and realize, man, I really overlooked this line of play. As painful as it can be to come to that realization.
The point of Schoolstone is we're here to run a class, right? Like, talk about what needs to get done, how to improve yourself. Like, if you don't watch your replays, if you don't get commentary from your teammates and from being on stream, like, how are you going to improve and get better?
Yeah.
choosing to go for the lethal here. I like it.
Yep, that's it.
If he hadn't drawn damage, an Alicia Hounds would have been lethal.
Oh, right, that's true. I mean, he had I think he had the right play there. It was either go for the Wondrous Wand or try to hope he gets the rush or damage lackey. So
yeah, it's that, or the other option is to go Golden Monkey and put up a 6/6 taunt. That effectively the 6/6 taunt locks TerdHerder out of the game. Lotus says that he will be back for the 4th round.
Let's have some fun! None can escape my fury.
TerdHerder queuing the Zoo Warlock is a nice counter queue to the Rogue.
Yes.
Important that you just like for Scrap Imp and Handy Gul'dan.
Yeah. Not the most ideal hand for Turd, but not necessarily a bad one either.
No, yeah, the Flame Imp is good, but there's the classic backstabbing of Flame Imp that can happen.
Yep.
Fortunately, not there.
Yep.
We saw Shunsui keep the ambush again, which is, I think, a little bit more interesting in this matchup as well.
Yes. I mean, I get it. He's seeing it as, hey, this gives me an immediate answer to some of their cards, and I do like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't think Shunsui could have asked for a better top deck there. Can you?
No. That is absolutely what you want. Miscreant on 3 with the backstab and clean up the Flame Imp.
That's just, I want to, like, you can't see my face right now, but I'm just like, nice. But no, Turd's still very much in this. He's just unfortunately not drawing any of his best cards right now, and that's kind of the risk with playing Zoo right now.
Yes, you are looking for your Keleseth.
This is rough.
Shunsui just messaged me Heart of the Cards for that top deck.
Oh
Jeez.
God. I should have
Perfect.
mentioned this before, but I used to be a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. That's actually how I knew Itachi, or knew of him really before joining THL. So yeah, Heart of the Cards indeed.
Oh yeah, I did say I never got competitive. I never could afford the cards, but I did go on an 81-1 streak on BattleNet or whatever that was.
Dueling Network.
Dueling Network with a books build in matches.
Fun fact: I was
love Yu-Gi-Oh!
For the longest time. I was in the top 10 for the of Dueling Network for the most wins ever.
Wow, that
was insane.
Commitment.
No, it's what we call insanity.
Yeah, that was a painful client.
God, yeah. But anyway, so so Turd is trying to figure out how he wants to do this because he's got a lot of cards in hand, and now he has a way to play to discard the Hand of Gul'dan, but he's probably, I think he's guaranteed to overdraw at this point. So
I think you have double Expired Merchant if I'm correct, so you can
yes.
coin Soulfire and then potentially Merchant.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
I mean, I think you Merchant first.
Okay, I believe I'm back now. I'm just bringing back the other two. Okay, can you guys hear me now? I think we're all together now. Can you two hear me? Okay, awesome.
Useful things, eager to share. Hey, I got you, friend.
Before again, so I really comes back to wishing that you'd gotten it.
Oh, yep, that's what I was afraid of. Order lol.
Yeah. I think you can just play the Kronks here, right?
I definitely would. I don't think you're gonna clear that carpet no matter what. So yeah, why not?
It's a 6/6.
It's a 6/6.
Your win condition.
Right. It's a 6/6 that draws your win condition, and he knows that there's a matron won't deal with it because he doesn't have any buff matrons in his hand.
Right. The fact that he didn't draw Scrap Imp or early hand just means the zoo doesn't have as much of a chance.
Yes. But at the same time, like, even if you take into account the fact that if whatchamacallit, Shunsui could have blackjacked the expired merchant, so he didn't get any Hand of Gul'dan's back to his hand. You know, I still think it still just feels like this could have been, he could have put himself in a somewhat better position here.
That's true. That's true. I think he didn't play for tempo enough in the matchup. That's pretty much about early tempo.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have a card that hand buffs your hand a billion times.
Yeah, Warlock is a bit challenging in that regard.
Yeah. It's a high rolly deck. It can just high roll basically against anything and just get Scrap Imp. That's why Scrap Imp is getting the nerf.
Ah. He draws the Galakrond.
I think you just rip Galakrond, yeah.
Yeah, you just rip it. Because then you can play Kronks next turn, and most likely you're just going to win.
Oh, yeah, you always win.
They have no healing, so it's just game over.
And Shunsui had the right idea this game by just going wide, bringing in a bunch of, playing as many minions as he could.
Yeah. It's interesting to see the Rogue sweeping here, because the Rogue is kind of seen as the weakest out of the top three. Like, it's not the Demon Hunter, the Hunter, or the Warrior, which are kind of seen as the universal three good classes. The Rogue is seen as one level below than the rest. Even if it's getting 2 cards nerfed, one of them pretty significant, one not as significant in my opinion, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, part of it is that Rogue just has a lot of tools at its disposal, but, its lack of draw power can be a problem for it if you don't draw the right, like you need to, a lot of times kind of depends on drawing that Togwaggle, drawing that Galakrond, where, or finding some other way to just, maintain hand advantage.
Yeah.
But, when you've got a lot of tools at your disposal, it often just works out really well, and that's what's going to happen for Shunsui, taking that set 3-1.
Yeah, we see the Shunsui win here. Wow. Good job for Shunsui.
I mean, Shunsui played really well. I just genuinely feel bad for Turd because he was really trying and putting in a lot of effort as far as navigating those games. But game 3 was just, an unfortunate oversight.
Yeah, we'll have a quick interview with them. And meanwhile, I'll start getting our Wildcaster to join us. We're having NHL NJ Fan 1, also known as Marty. He'll be joining us in a few, right after the interview. As for the interview, TerdHerder is here. How are you doing? How did that feel?
Anybody else here?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Besides you, Turd.
We're waiting for Shunsui. How did the match?
Was I talking to you? No.
Okay, so I don't think Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys should be able to hear me now. Congrats, Shunsui and
Yes.
TerdHerder, for the match today.
Wahahaha. So
Hey, no evil laughing just yet. It's too early for that.
Yo, when I say I pooed it like 4 times and I gotta go to the bathroom and check myself, I'm dead ass, yo. That shit was
Oh,
so
man.
That was a
man,
tough
like
match.
That was
Good job,
rough,
Wolf.
man.
that Demon Hunter game, I was at like 16 before I even had a chance to like get my mojo going. And then I got punished. It's like I had the guy that discovers a secret and tossed him and then got like a secret back off the first mulligan. I was like, oh
Yeah,
man,
we
this
were
might
saying that very early on. Like Hanar is just so powerful. Like it's also such a cheap card that you often just want to hold on to it.
I got punished like in 3.5 seconds for that. I kept the seal fate, and it was crazy. Yo. That Hunter game was insane.
The Hunter game was like quite crazy to watch, just because, like we were all saying, like with the way Turd was playing, we thought that like he was going to win that one because he had the scrap shot, the second scrap shot to buff up the boar and like would just kill him in 2 turns. But then we noticed you kind of tried to backtrack on that because you noticed, wait, I can actually just kill him, and then you tried to go towards the board and putting the van like there's a lot going on is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure. The bamboozle made the Van Cleef something else, and then
I know. And I
if
couldn't
he
tell if
scrapped
that
my
was
face-
intentional or not. Like if you were
Not
doing that
at all,
because you
not
were
at-
trying to put the Van Cleef at 2 health to be killed by the explosive trap or not.
Not at all, not at all. It just happened like that because like I really wanted him to swing into the 8. I was like, oh shit, that's a bamboozle. So I might get some shitty 1-1. That's gonna be bad. When I saw the second scrap, I was like, yo, if he go like scrap face and like hit me with some big ass shit, like swing and then hero power, I'm dead. I don't know, Turd, what you had going on your side, man? Is it here? Is Turd here?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I realized it was bamboozle after I scrap shotted it.
Okay.
Which was no bueno.
Okay.
And then a little bit of the RNG. You know, I knew it was a 2 cost that was going to be a 5 mana, and I was like, okay. But then it turned into a 6/6, and I was like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, those are always tough calls to make. I think the problem is like I was saying my thought process, what I thought was going on was you were trying to think, hey, I want to control the board a bit so I can maximize damage while also preventing my opponent from like making a comeback. But then the problem is you realize, oh, I kind of have to just forego that with a deck like Face Hunter because I'm not going to win if I focus so much on board control. I need to be able to actually like just keep applying damage, especially against a deck like Rogue where like they don't heal, so you have all the more incentive to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, and I'm getting messages from my team, and they're more or less the same.
I mean, from Yellow Dart especially, I know what he's like. I get it.
Face is the place, and I forgot it.
Face is the place, and it's the space.
Yeah, I think Yellow Dart beat me last time I played him. I need to duel him again. I think like all right, so the hero power and the weapon was 5, the 2 scrap shot was 6, and the 7/7 board 13. Like, but that would have took 2 turns though. Like that, if he didn't hit the 8/8 and turn into a 4/6, 6/6, it would have the math would have been different. So I don't know. It was all over the place, man. In my opinion, it was. That shit was crazy. But I needed to play that Galacron when I did, though. I was debating. I was like, maybe I could wait. But I got to take the 5 armor right now just in case I might get a free card I could use or something, man. I was definitely on the edge of my seat, man. It was a great
You're not alone. We were just like, man, how's this going to play out? These games were very close in a lot of respects.
Yeah, most definitely. At first, like that first game with my Hunter versus his Demon Hunter, like my problem with Face Hunter is I just don't draw the quest. As you can see, like on my deck tracker, I have like maybe like 40 something odd games played with Face Hunter. I don't see that quest, but like maybe 12 of those matches altogether. It's insane how far away that quest always is when I play Face Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, Turd, that was a very interesting list to like watch you play, because it was very it felt like it was so nicely designed for the Hunter matchup, as well as dealing with I guess potentially the mirror. Like we were kind of debating like how your matchups must be like with the mirror, because you've got the extra taunt and heal, but maybe but like I could also understand if maybe like the more aggressive versions are still like too aggressive for that build to kind of keep up. Like what was your thought process with bringing that particular version of Demon Hunter?
As I told Shansui in game, he messaged. What did you message me in game?
I was like, "Yo, 2 freezes for me. You're too kind."
Yeah, it was definitely designed for kind of targeting the face hunter, and then the thought process was that it was going to either be about the same or maybe slightly better into the mirror. Wasn't 100% sure. Kind of a wish and a prayer on that one, hoping that was going to happen, but we never even got to that match, so didn't quite matter.
I mean, it definitely worked very nicely. I mean, here's the thing: you should definitely be happy that you got a very nice win in a very unfavored matchup with that deck. Because I mean,
yeah,
Shinsui's Face Hunter theoretically could have just swept all of your decks, and that would not have been fun for you. So
right.
For some reason, when I play that deck, it's just terrible. But the lifesteal package, like, all right, so when I saw him play the lifesteal package and then the 3/5, I was like, damn, he might also play like the 2/6 with taunt that shoots everybody on my side of the field. And that's not good. But it wouldn't have been good for him either if I completed the quest. You know what I mean? It would have hit the 1/1s, he takes 6. But like I said, I didn't get to the quest. I never draw the quest for some reason. That deck's crazy. It hates me. I swear.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's a good type of forethought to have. But at the same time, I think there's something to be said about sometimes just going with your general strategy and just knowing like the thing is you could be worried about something like that where like, oh, they're playing a card that's going to disrupt my strategy. But if you don't know that for a fact, then usually your best bet is just continue on with my strategy and with the strategy I have, and just, that should generally like work to your advantage, because especially like if you're still completing the quest, like those leper gnomes are still going to get damage in.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I thought I saw him freeze me twice. I was like, well, shit, anything can go at this point. I don't know. I don't know how spicy he got. Like, because usually the list run wins or I was like, all right, so he's got 2. So I know he's trying to lock down and just keep punching face, man. It was, man, that was crazy, dog. I gotta, man.
That was just a hell of a match. Like, people should not like discount the 5 seeds and think, oh, like there's like, they're like, these guys are like pretty basic. It's like, people in the 5 seed have really proven themselves. And I mean, like, yeah, I mean, Turd, just like with the way we saw it, like, I mean, we were all there last season where you missed winning the championship by 1 life. That was heartbreaking. I won't lie. Like, I was like at the point where I'm like, I'm gonna be super happy for whoever wins, but man,
yeah, you almost want to get stomped there, but definitely, that kind of lingers here and all that stuff. I don't think I've won on stream in THL, so I guess to all you 5 seed opponents out there, convince me to play on stream, and you might have a good shot.
No, man.
If it makes you feel any better, I've lost like 4 of the last 5 times I've been on stream.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've had a decent number of wins on stream, I will say that, but it is baby, it is it is tough. I don't even think that being on stream necessarily changes anything, but you could certainly argue that it does.
I thought it was going to change something, maybe I'd draw the quest, but nope. It just made my palms all sweaty and just nothing else, really.
That's one of those feels bad moments, I swear.
Yeah. I think...
and I don't... With my comment, I don't want to detract from Shansui at all. He's an excellent opponent, and he played those matches very well. So definitely shout-outs to him and GG's.
Thank you, sir. All right. I appreciate it. LotusKnight, you was about to say something?
Yeah, I just want to thank you all for being here. Unfortunately, we have a second match, so I'm going to have to call it and thank TerdHerder and Shansui for the match, for letting us stream it, and for playing pretty well. I think everything went well. I'm going to jump into solely OPing, and I'll let basedinc take basedinc and NHL and JFan take my place in the caster booth. JR will stay with them. I'm adding NHL and JFan now. One more time, thank you, TerdHerder and Shansui. We're now going on with our wild match of the
No, thank you guys.
And for those who are wondering, now the score of this hero match is at ATL with 16 points, DadLegend with 3.
Oh, shout out to DadLegend, man. Them still some tough guys, man. Thank y'all for your time, man. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on. Until next time.
Take care.
Next time on Dragon Ball dueling and stuff.
We'll figure that out another time. But you're thinking, I like that.
All right. Welcome to NHL and JFan. Can we just go with Marty for this?
That works.
I told him that.
Yes, JR shared that wonderful little shortcut for us. All right, so we have Itachi representing F2L Veridian playing against Lefty with Patches Payback in the Green Conference for Wild. So NHL, how are you doing? And if you want to talk a little bit about your team and this match, since you are part of F2L Veridian.
I mean, I've really just enjoyed Wild in general for a while. I played Standard quite a bit too. I'm sure a lot of people know, but Wild is like my first format. So seeing something competitive for once really show up was something I was really interested in, and I kind of jumped on the opportunity to join THL for that specifically. Let's see. As for F2L Veridian, I met Itachi through the Wild tournament THL held at first, before the Wild season was even a thing. And Itachi, I remember bringing a Reno Quest Mage that threw me off guard because I expected him to be running Flame Ward, but instead he had Counterspell, which messed up my first match against him. But he played well. We both did. I think we both got into the top 8, which was great. And then shortly after, he recruited me for a Wild team. So we got together, and he asked if I knew anyone else that would be interested. And my good friend SRL, who is also big in Wild, was looking for something. So I asked him, and we formed Veridian together.
Yeah.
You're part of the villain team, basically.
Yeah.
Embrace the villain.
In Wild,
yeah.
I wouldn't say we're
true.
the villains. I think that more power creeps.
No, it's more of just like that's kind of the running joke now with F2L, as far as being like they're the only like DadLegend used to be the only team that would have like the same team in like, or the same like franchise, I want to say, in like multiple series. And now F2L has just been like, hey, you like having a team in 2 series? We're taking all 4, baby.
Oh,
it's freaking crazy. So yeah, you're kind of like guilty by association to them. No offense.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
All right. Well, let's throw the decks up on there. We got Itachi repping it with Mage, Warlock, Demon Hunter, and Priest. The Priest has been banned away though, so that'll be Quest Mage, Q Block, and a Odd Demon Hunter playing against lefties. Reno Hunter, Reno Priest, and Q Block as well. Itachi banned away the Quest Mage from lefty.
I will say I don't know much about Wild, unfortunately, as Marty is well aware. But when it comes to like, I'm looking at this from the perspective of here's some 2 seasoned veterans of THL playing in a format that we have not seen them play in before. We're against each other. So this is like, it's cool enough that these 2 are playing each other, but to be playing in a meta that we've never actually seen them play against each other before, that'll be pretty exciting as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it should be good. And we've been kind of holding them up. So I think if we got anything else, we are ready to start. Yeah.
Yep. I think we're set.
All right.
I'm very excited to see these decks in action.
All right. Well, Lefty's going to be on bottom, and Itachi will be on top.
All right, just waiting for them to... Waiting for the spectate option. I have them both added already.
Yeah, they're still preparing, so they might be, saying a
gotcha.
last little bit of good luck, have fun, picking out the decks. Itachi also accidentally challenged me. Good old bug that's causing people
Good
to
old
just challenge left and
Itachi.
right.
One day I'm going to rectify my DQ loss against him, and we're going to have an actual match, but that might be a while.
And it looks like they are started. I'll go ahead and send Lefty request to open.
Okay, here we go. All right, so Itachi is playing the Demon Hunter, and then Lefty is playing Hunter.
Yeah, it looks like we already have a disconnect from
Connection
Itachi. So might be a little moment before this gets back online, and it is.
Let the hunt begin.
All right.
All right.
So I'm very intrigued by this inclusion of the Happy Ghoul, because I noticed that they do have a lot of healing, so it makes sense to be able to just kind of play a free 3-drop. But I never considered that as a possible inclusion.
So the Happy Ghoul package came early on from JRJuggerLaw working with Corbett on ladder, and what they found was that since you're running the Warblades and you have I-Beam, it's pretty easy to get Happy Ghouls out for free. An early Happy Ghoul, maybe as soon as turn 3, just dropping 1 or 2 free 3/3s, we all know is broken given how Heal Zoo used to work in previous metas.
Right.
So, and it works very well in Demon Hunter as well because of that.
Yeah, I think the other kind of revelation people had is how hilarious Lowly Squire is in the deck. It's just so powerful.
Yeah, it's essentially another battlefield.
Yeah, it's another battlefield, and it, you'd want to play it in even decks because you have the 1-mana hero power, but you can't. So this, 1-mana hero power, while being odd, is the only real way to abuse it with the hero power as effectively.
Well, now Itachi is getting a good setup. He's got he's got his buffed hero power. He drew a card, and he's going face with the Battle Mage for some nice early damage.
Yeah, we're still getting a little bit of ads set up, but I think this is very likely just a straightforward mad scientist.
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like at this point you want to at least force them to play something he can deal with. For something like playing one of those secrets, playing the God, I keep forgetting the name of that secret. The pressure plate doesn't really do much, actively speaking.
No, and effectively you get to draw a card, by the mad scientist dying.
Yeah. So Itachi, I like this play. He's opting to just kill the scientist with the hero power instead of using up a durability on the Warblades, because even though it's more mana efficient, he doesn't really accomplish much from doing that.
Yeah, it's effectively this. It's the same damage. He's choosing to go face, which I like that. The hand is just so full of burn that I think that Itachi's kind of committing to this plan of I'm just going to end this game by killing you pretty quickly here and just continue going face.
Interesting choice to play the Zephyrs here, though.
I'm curious if it was specifically to look for this Voidwalker.
I could believe that.
it's a nice cheap taunt. It'll suck up likely 4 damage, but choosing to go with a bit more more defensive and take the Argus.
Yeah.
Which,
I like. Oh, sorry.
Argus
Go
is a
ahead.
strange choice in my opinion because Demon Hunter's a lot of ways of dealing with taunts. Really, you have consume magic, and as we see with Itachi's hand, you have Warblades in the deck as well. I think how many Warblades does Itachi run? He has 2, right?
I believe so.
No, he only has the 1.
Oh, okay.
Looks
Okay,
like
that's still
Dr.
pretty
Broom
risky, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
Warblades right here will clear everything, as does I-Beam, really.
I don't know if there was a cleaner pick between the Mortal Coil and the Void Collar as well. I think that, you know, setting that up, but you do have the coin double 5s in Subject 9 and Ziliax that you could have chosen to go with.
I mean, I'll be honest. When I was thinking about the play, I do kind of agree with Marty that while the deck does have like answers, but to me the bigger problem was more my bigger concern looking at it was, you know, the Argus wouldn't have really worked well unless he knew Itachi was going to go face, which worked out for him, but yeah, it definitely was a bit situational. Plus, he didn't really have much to combo with it. Like if say only one of those minions survived, he was really banking on both of them living.
Yeah, we saw Itachi ignore the board and go face multiple times, but that was a mad scientist, so it's fair to assume that Itachi was just deciding not to activate it.
Right.
Itachi is looking to have a really nice curve.
Oh god, this is Is this a Warblades hero power kill the Lotheb go face turn?
Looks like it.
Looks like it, yeah. And he's got the Priestess set up for next turn, which is nasty.
Yeah. Hunter does have the Reno in hand, but doesn't really have a way to handle both Priestesses now that Zephyrus is gone.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I was very confused by that Zephyrus turn, especially with the candle shot up.
Right. I just don't think there was really much. I just don't think there's really much to accomplish from the Zephyrus there, so I would have held on to it.
Yeah, something like Ziliax or Coin Ziliax on that turn might have gone a bit farther outside of Consume Magic.
So is this just a kill the Ziliax Priestess? I feel it, right? Like you got to throw that down.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
The only other thing he can consider is hero power, metamorphosis, or even just toss the deckhand out.
Yeah, you could also.
Yeah.
The odds are that the Priestess will just kill the Ziliax and then send 4 face as well.
Right.
Is the other consideration.
And there's the patches. The only reason I thought about playing the Priestess is the fact that Lefty would, if Lefty wanted to play, there was no way for Lefty to both clear the Priestess and heal up, so to protect himself from lethal. So that's also something to think about. He's in a very rough spot right now.
Yeah, this play does pretty much the same thing, while also thinning your deck and getting patches out, so you get 1 fewer bad draw.
That's valid, yes. Lefty might just play around thinking like, oh, it's just like if he has the metamorphosis, he has it. Yeah, this is just very rough because one way or another, Itachi's going to have a very strong follow-up play next turn.
He has to heal here, right?
I think he has to, but I don't think he realizes he has to. Or maybe he does, but he's just trying to consider his options before he does it.
Yeah,
Bren
the
would
only
be
other
very
consideration
risky here.
Yes.
Well, what would
you
he
never
combo
want to
with?
go below 10 health against Demon Hunter.
You mean odd? Oh, you mean Demon Hunter? Thought you said Even Hunter for some reason. Okay, no, he's gonna do it.
Okay.
So 20 health restored. The sad part is that secret is Rat Trap.
Yeah,
which
that
is just
secret
not
is
gonna do
never
much.
getting accurate.
Exactly. It's so unfortunate. And now Itachi can just, get a board going. And just do a lot. Oh, right, because the missiles was just cleared off either way. Yep.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Lefty right now.
Not at all.
I think it might be time to coin Dragon Queen Save Me. I think that
Not necessarily.
don't
You can go
saves you,
Brand,
though?
Coin, and Wandering Monster as well.
Yeah.
That'll be able to clear the priestess and regain some board control, because it's very difficult for Itachi to clear the crush without taking a ton of damage or losing a big minion on board.
Okay.
So Itachi has a few options here again. He can go Metamorphosis to clear some stuff. He also activate the Wandering Monster first, which seems pretty good.
Only saves him 1 damage, which is kind of unfortunate. For Lefty, I mean.
You really only want the body at this point on Wandering Monster, though. Having it survive is still very good.
Yeah.
Itachi has no way to kill him at 16 health.
I kind of want to just Metamorphosis off it, get to push 8 face.
Looks like he's going for Dr. Boom instead, potentially. Initially, Itachi added this because he found that he was running out of gas just in his top end during when he faced aggro. So he opted to add Dr. Boom to help mitigate that.
Good.
In this case, it's just a drop. Nice.
Are you playing the Subject 9 and searching out some secrets, or just ripping the Dragon Queen? Because I think you are in a Dragon Queen is the only way you find a way to close out the game.
I think it's just do or die. That is good, though. That actually does something.
Draconid probably just wins the game from here.
Yeah. You're losing the 7 damage that would have been getting to go face with the Dr. Boom.
And he can't. I mean, yeah, no. I think the only way. If he could, there's really nothing he could do because he needed the bombs to both kill the Draken, and that's not happening. I mean, now he can clear the Draconid without sacrificing the boom, but now he's suddenly. But he still won't have enough damage to clear now because he can't play that and hit him for 5 with Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Oof, that's rough. He can get him down to 3, but that's it. Yeah. Itachi was in such control this entire game, but Dragon Queen Alex Strada.
What he has to do now is he can Hero Power Thug, hit face, Metamorphosis, and kill the big ol' whelp. And
that's true.
Technically keeps him alive.
Yeah, alive at 1.
Yeah, alive at 1. Still not triggering that rat trap.
So if Lefty can get lethal here,
he just needs 1 damage.
Yeah.
He's got 2 ways to search.
Cracking first, I guess.
Companion could do it.
Companion 2 out of 3 chance. 2 out of 3 chance, and he gets the 1. Oh my god. That is rough. Oh.
None of those do it.
None of those do it. That is so unfortunate.
Itachi's still in a really tough spot right here,
Yeah.
though.
No,
Can't
he
activate
has lethal.
He
Oh, no,
does
you're
not
right,
have
'cause-
lethal.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I'm an idiot.
He needs Eldrachi Warblades off the top.
Well, that
I-beam
will
also
do,
does
right?
it.
Now he has lethal.
I-beam does it.
Because
That's lethal.
he heals
Yep.
up.
I-beam does it because now he'll be able to survive an attack from the Misha and be able to hit with both the Warblade, the Hero Power, and the Adept. So yeah,
Very
Itachi.
close match.
This was so insane. Wow, that was just game 1 too.
I feel like Lefty could have had that had he saved his efforts for later.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to look back at this replay and wonder the same.
A very fun first game to start off the match, though.
For sure.
It was like Itachi had it, then Lefty had it, then Itachi had it again. It's just the back and
It's the
forth,
nature
man.
of Reno games.
Oh man. The crazy thing was though, I thought Itachi had lethal because Lefty didn't draw that extra damage, and then he did have lethal because of the I-beam.
Yeah.
And even then, he still got down to 2 life. How insane!
That's just a thing with a lot of wild matchups. Unlike standard, where you do have some like board swings back and forth. In wild, it's so much more common, even outside of Reno games.
Yeah. I mean, I get why some people love wild. I think it's just for me, it's I don't know. It feels harder to gain a mastery of it, and with all the cards you need to keep track of and such, like it can be tough.
There's a lot of so a lot of people think that with the large card pool, it's hard to know what to play around. But really, there is a meta. Like, you know what your opponent is likely to have and what they're likely to not have. So it's not as simple as just, thinking my opponent could have any of these answers. What if he does?
Yeah.
Especially in this series now with open lists, you do know how your opponent can answer things. And you do know how their deck building is targeting your lineup.
Fair.
So next up, we have the Reno Priest versus Q Block matchup. I believe Reno Priest is favored normally.
Wait, my match isn't. For me, it's not loading.
That's strange. Welcome to Hearthstone.
Oh my god.
Where they update all the time and there's still bugs because it's constantly in beta.
Yes, all right. I think I'm fine. I think I just I took myself off the spectator and then I rejoined.
Okay, so turn 1 seemed pretty standard. We have Lefty going for Librarian first and Itachi dropping the Cleric. Turn 2, it was interesting to see Lefty not tap because he's not on coin, even though he has Sense Demons. He opted to go for the Mistress of Mixtures, which was interesting.
Yeah. So I'm curious with the Reno Priest deck. Is that just does the deck focus still as much on the Raza Highlander combo?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. In Wild though, you have Spawn of Shadows as well now.
Gotcha.
Unlike during Year of the Mammoth, your combo does a lot more damage.
Wait, what's Spawn of Shadows again?
So Spawn of Shadows is a 4-mana 5/4 from the Grand Tournament. It's Inspire, deal 4 damage to each hero.
Right, I do remember that, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of the ultimate control deck in Wild. If correct?
Yeah, you can't really go slower than Reno Priest right now. There's like 2 caps on Wild right now that controls the meta. On one end, you have hyper aggro in terms of like Pyro Warrior, and in a way, Odd Demon Hunter. you know.
Right.
And the goal for their aggro decks is to be either faster than that, or you can't compete. For control, ooh, we have Raza on 5.
Raza on 5, but Zephyrus to get some weapon removal.
A good choice.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Get that Swamp Ooze. You know
Yeah.
that weapon, that skull is going to be huge, especially given his hand. So
Yeah. But on the other end, as I was saying, you have Quest Mage and Reno Priest, where you have to finish the game by a certain point, otherwise you're just going to lose.
Gotcha.
So that's why you don't see a ton of greedy control decks, and why there's not too much mid-range right now. It is very difficult because mid-range is kind of getting squeezed. Even Shaman is there, but it struggles a ton against Reno Priest.
Same with even Warlock.
Okay, you're gonna play the Spirit Lash.
Looks like he's going for a coin Raza.
Which is reasonable. Get that online as soon as you can. See what demon he gets off the Void Lord, and it's Doomguard. So he can't clear that, unfortunately, but that's...
Interesting choice to attack there. I'm not sure what his goal there was.
Maybe, I wonder, maybe did he think he had a... he thought it was just better to get it out of the way? I don't... just see what he had. Worried it would get more powerful later? I'm curious. And now Lefty's got a Dark Skies, clearing everything but the wealth. And now has a decision to make as far as what he wants to do here. Because I feel like it seems like next turn he's going to be going for that Dreadlord.
No, trust me.
So the way Q-Block wins this matchup is basically praying that the priest doesn't get Raza and Anduin early, and they don't draw screen.
Right. Well, there's Anduin, so this is going to be very rough for Lefty. No. He even though his life total's not so bad, yeah, he's going to play the Dreadlord, and I'm pretty sure Anduin is just coming down on here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing Spawn in hand means that Itachi doesn't have to hold back.
Yeah. Or does he trade everything in and then play Anduin because he wants to actually kill the lifesteal?
Yeah, I think
he'll want to kill the
play.
lifesteal. But I'm not sure if it matters whether he decides to trade into the Dreadlord now or not.
No, it does, because
you get the 5 extra heal, but you're
right,
likely winning anyway.
Right, but I was going to say also you do get extra damage if you, theoretically at least. And you wouldn't have to clear off the Azure Drake, so I get, you know what, it doesn't really matter too much either way. Itachi's so far ahead right now, it's insane.
Welcome to the nature of Reno Priest, where you draw Raza on 5, Anduin on 8, and win the game.
Yeah, I think that actually might be lethal in hand with the Spawn of Shadows and Kazakus, if you can get a damage potion, or is it not even necessary?
You don't need a damage potion. It should just be lethal.
Like, unless you sacrificial pack this 5/7, yeah, that's game right there.
Yeah. Because that's just 6 damage per hero power now.
Are you afraid of the dark?
So Marty, is it really just simply a matter of, like, when it comes to beating this Reno Priest deck, is it mostly just about, just being as aggressive as you can before they can get to these combos?
Yeah, you really want to get, like, Mal'Ganis down, and then just copy your Mal'Ganises and hope it doesn't get screamed. You can't really afford to play around Scream.
Gotcha.
Mal'Ganis, at the minimum, though, protect your face, which is super helpful.
Right, because it makes you immune.
It's very much an uphill battle for the Q block.
So Itachi has what deck does he have left?
Q
Just
block.
Q block.
Q block.
It's not
Lefty
looking
go
good.
the reverse sweep.
Yeah, and notably, Itachi's playing the defensive Q block that does not play Doomsayer.
Q block normally doesn't play Doomsayer right now. It
No,
hasn't
sorry,
for a
Doom
while.
card. My bad. Lefty was playing the Doom card list.
And so now Lefty is playing that Quest Mage that we've heard so much about.
Quest Mage. So, Lefty has a really good start with Star Scryer and questing Explorer in hand already. Itachi is going to be looking for his taunts.
Yeah, trying to get an early Void Lord that makes it really awkward to complete the quest.
The way
And now
Itachi is going to win this is either getting his taunts early or dropping Skull on 5.
Yeah.
And now he, with Sense Demons, he's guaranteed to have a solid demon to drop from hand with the Void Lord, so that's pretty awesome for him. And both of these are taunts too, so unless he draws something subpar, it's not going to really matter. Sorry, draws a subpar demon. So, Specters. Ooh, that's rough. 3 spells, all of which would have been really helpful in completing the quest.
Lefty's still in a bad spot though. He has Cyclone in hand with a few spells as well.
Sure, but naturally you would have preferred to not discard those spells.
Yeah.
So,
is there any reason to not hero power there?
Oh no,
I'm
that seems
wondering
like a misplay there. Pinging the Warlock or just any hero at all to help just chip away damage before the combo is useful.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure, 'cause I wasn't sure if I was missing something.
Itachi does use up his Defile here, but it does seem to be the right play as it gets a demon out.
Yeah, there's not really many boards that you're filing, because any board you'd really want to clear against the Quest Mage is just killing you, correct?
Yes. Now to see if Lefty goes in here. Looks like he will.
Do you take the Learn Draconic, or do you take the Arcane Missiles there?
You usually take the Arcane Missiles because all your spells are cheap. And since you have Sorcerer's Apprentice, it's not often that Learn Draconic is activating early. Until maybe Quest turn.
Is there a spot where Lefty kind of adopts a draw Flame Waker and get the kill plan?
Usually against Warlock, when they drop the taunts, you have to use Flame Raker to go all in. You don't really have any other ways to break through the taunts. So I think it was interesting that Lefty chose to use his coin after the Mana Cyclone. It allowed him to draw, but it also meant that he lost out on a spell.
But I think
we see that Lefty did pull an Ice Block too. Normally, Ice Block, pulling Ice Block off of anything really greatly increases Quest Mage's win rate. But against Warlock is a bit awkward because you're not really on a clock. You're just trying to break through their taunts.
And that doesn't do anything to help break through the taunts, so it's not so helpful is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
The Warlock's trying to create an unbreakable board that soaks just too much damage from the Flame Waker that you can't push all the Giant Space and win the game.
I think it's interesting that Lefty went with hanging instead of playing a secret.
It could be trying to slow Itachi down over multiple turns and make him think maybe this is, something else. That way you can only test one secret at a time.
Could be.
It's difficult to say though with Mistress of Mixtures on the board, since pinging is not doing much here. Lefty opts for the mirror image here over Frost Nova. Looks like he's going for Cyclone again.
Gets an Ice Lance, Puzzle Box, and a Kabbalist Tome, so not cheap
His hand
card, but not
is
bad.
pretty awkward now. He's going to overdraw.
Yeah.
Itachi now has the Skull of Minari. It's not looking good for Lefty.
That skull is a huge draw, given the contents of Itachi's hand right now.
Anything he pulls is also going to be activated with Umbra.
Ooh, that's true.
He goes with the Dreadlord.
Wow.
A very powerful
That's, oh my god, that's nuts. He got a free, he basically got a 5/7 taunt and a 5/5 lifesteal for 8 mana. That's really strong.
Yeah. I mean, here, do you save the Flamewaker and try and draw the Sorcerer's Apprentice so when you go off, you can really just chain tons of spells and hopefully clear up a ton of the board?
That's what you do, but Lefty's hand is a bit awkward here. He doesn't have any form of draw, and his spells are all expensive, so discounting them won't really do much.
Yeah.
It looks like he's praying that freezing the board will allow his Flamemaker to stick. Hopefully, Itachi doesn't have Plague of Flames, which right now he doesn't. And then Lefty would be able to go off with Flamewaker next turn.
Do you think he'll Defile to try to clear the board? To try to clear the Waker, I mean? Like, how desperately does he want to get rid of that Flamewaker?
The Flamewaker is a lot of... Like, Flamewaker is the one way that Quest Mage wins this.
Yeah.
And that's going to work out very nicely for Lefty.
Yeah, like, the Flamewaker would still have to effectively shoot 16 health on board, even if it was still alive right now.
For the Faceless to, it's considering the Faceless to make another taunt.
Well, because correct me if I'm wrong, because it looks like the idea behind the Quest Mage deck is play the Quest spell and then play a bunch of Giants and just attack the next turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
it's either that or you go nuts with Flamewake.
That
or
sounds
both.
about right.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Yeah, Lefty is going to have to get a lot of value out of that.
No.
Really?
He's just going to scoop it.
Concede.
That's unfortunate. I would have loved to see him at least try. You know, to try to like win from that, see what he could do.
Yeah.
But
So
I guess he saw it as very unwinnable.
We get a 3-0 from Itachi then. Wow.
Those were some crazy games to watch, even as short of a series as it was.
Yeah, that was quite excellent. Lotus, do you want to bring in Itachi for an interview?
All right, well, he'll be in here shortly.
Lotus read my mind.
Dude, did you forget that, that Lotus has mind-reading powers?
Actually, I was never informed.
Well, my mistake for not sharing it with you then. Or Lotus's, depending on who you want to blame for that.
You're the lawyer, and I'm pretty sure it's entrapment. Can you confirm that? Legally entrapment?
I can confirm it's not entrapment. Nice try, though.
Okay. Well, I think that was pretty big. I'd say that Lotus took a huge win in that last one, beating down that Quest Mage.
Yeah.
How's it going, Itachi?
Hey, what's up?
Congrats on your win. I think that Marty probably has the most insightful interview questions, so I think we should let him take the lead on this.
Agreed.
Yeah, so let's see. In that that Demon Hunter matchup. How did you feel going into it with playing Reno Hunter first, knowing that he had, Zephyr and Reno and Alex all in that game? Like, was there any point where you thought, hey, there's not really a chance here?
I was like, he's gonna have Reno. He's gonna have Reno. The turn that I played, I think it was the Galavi Bound and Salty Deckhand instead of Priestess. And I was like, he's gonna have Reno, so I should put something up so that I can contest the Reno and start like fighting back after, instead of just putting up Priestess. And if he had a removal or something like that, then I was like a lot of damage. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt a little weird knowing that like, the deck is based around killing him, and his deck is based around not dying.
Yeah, it was just a super swingy matchup in general. Very entertaining to watch from any side really. So well played there.
It's kind of the reason why I put in why I play Dr. Boom, just so that like there's so much Reno stuff around that like I want to be able to continue to pressure past the burst damage that his deck has.
Yeah, I would say Boom definitely made the difference, especially against that evasive Draconid. He pretty much saved you there and kept you in the game for
just long enough to win. And then when I think he had one off lethal, and I was like, oh, he's gonna have lethal. And then he tracking, and then he animal companion, and, and then none of them hit lethal. I was just like, oh man.
Yeah. So let's see. With that Q block matchup, I know Lefty decided to Q Quest Mage. And you also decided to go for the Dreadlord over Skull. I know some players go back and forth on that. What was your thought process behind playing the Dreadlord over Skull?
The turn 8 or turn?
I believe it was turn 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put up Umbra with the intent on playing Dreadlord the next turn, and then I did the Skull, and I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, well, if I can put pressure on now with the 5/7 and the 5/5, it's probably a little bit more impactful than just playing the Skull and waiting and giving him another turn to get rid of what I do have, and then only developing like one thing a turn. Because I figured there's no way the Umbra lives. I was surprised it lived that long, so I was like, no way it lived longer. So I may as well get the value from it now.
Yeah, it worked out very well. So well done.
The plan was to probably just not play Skull for most of the game because I had the Gul'dan, I had the Nazar, so I was figuring if I just put a bunch of pressure up and then follow with the 2 10 drops that he probably wouldn't be able to deal with it even with the time warp.
Yeah, it worked out really well. So Lefty did end up conceding to all the pressure. There wasn't much else he could do at that point.
Yeah, I don't know what was in his hand, but I mean, I knew he had the quest, so I figured it must have been really like he just got some bad stuff off Cyclones or.
Yeah, his Cyclones did not really help too much. So well done. Congrats on the wins.
Appreciate it.
I'm noticing from the score that puts you guys up now 6-4. So the match between Jerry Damage and SRL is what's going to decide this.
Is that true? Oh man, I didn't know that. I just want
Yeah.
to win.
It's either if Jerry takes the win, SRL gets 2 wins. It's a tie, right?
Also, if it's 3-2, we tie. And
So
if SRL
yeah, any win from
yeah.
you guys will take it. But if Jerry wins by any margin other than a 3-2, then other than a 3-2, they win.
Okay. Wow, that's super close. That's closer than I thought.
Marty, your mistake was Marty. I expect you to beat Tony. I thought you were going to avenge me from losing to him in Legacy last week.
Yeah, I really thought I would have that too, and then he generated Ice Block against my Odd Paladin, which was super unfortunate. So I even have the screenshot still. And then the other game that he won, he was able to win a super unfavored matchup against my Odd Paladin with his Demon Hunter, which is just well played by him. And the first matchup came down to me not drawing Ankar until turn 9 and not having cannons for Pirate Warrior. The way of Pirate Warrior works in Wild is either you get cannons and you blow them out early with your pirates and cannons, or you draw Ankar and you just whittle them down because your Ankar is like 7-8 attack. You're drawing 2 cards. When you have neither, Mechanizing Warlock, which my Pirate Warrior lost to, can kind of just draw it once, Reno at the end, and combo it. So it happens. Good on Tony during those matches. So it's all good. I hope the other team the best, of course, but just not this week.
Well, it'll be an exciting conclusion, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, thank you guys for casting on a Saturday. I appreciate that. It's awesome that you guys are doing Schoolstone.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. I do actually have one question for Marty. Are you a Yu-Gi-Oh gamer? Was this a full Yu-Gi-Oh stream?
I am I was a Yu-Gi-Oh gamer.
There we go. That is
I was.
what I wanted to hear.
I stopped shortly before the Link cards were released. Right before everything started going crazy. Yeah, like I think I stopped a year or two after Macrocosmos was out. Like shortly after that fell out of tier 1, I stopped playing.
Oh god, that was like so long. I stopped.
Yeah, I was like 12 years old at the time.
I stopped right before Hearthstone.
Okay.
So it was like 2013, summer 2013. Like when Itachi can correct me. I'm trying to remember if that wasn't the dragon meta. That was something though. Was it?
2013. 2013
Yeah.
Dragon release. That's the year I
Oh no, it was. That was the baby, the dragons with the babies, and then the spell books, and oh god, that brings back some memories.
Oh, books. My lovely, lovely books.
Oh my god, I do not miss those times.
Yu-Gi-Oh is wild now.
The worst part about, I will just say the thing I really can't stand about that game in hindsight is how much money I put into that game and how little money I actually had to put into Hearthstone by comparison. Like when you look at how expensive some cards could get in that game, Itachi is. For those of you who don't know, Itachi was a pretty well-known Yu-Gi-Oh player. I knew who he was before he came into Hearthstone because I recognized the name. And I wasn't even half of the player that he was. It's like I don't like how people manage to excel so much in card games is like it's something to behold. I feel like it's such an accomplishment, and like the game itself was pretty crazy, but just like with Hearthstone, there were definitely plenty of ways in which you could as much as like
consistently do well.
Yeah, it was just oh god, I couldn't even top a freaking regional. That's how sad of an excuse of a player I was.
Well, what's silly about that is that I did very well throughout my career in that game, and I have made more money playing Hearthstone than I did playing that game.
That is crazy.
Historically, and I played that game for 10 plus years and did extremely well in it. And I played Hearthstone for like 4 and done very modestly in it.
Yeah, it really tells a lot about the state of Yu-Gi-Oh, though. Considering how it was immensely popular, but it was so difficult to still make any money out of it.
Yep.
I was unfortunate in which there weren't really any regional tournaments close enough to me that I could travel to. Occasionally, I would get a pre-release event that I could go to as a kid. But Hearthstone kind of fixes that problem. It's much more accessible. There's tournaments every weekend now. Really, anyone can play. And there's just a lot more money involved, as we've seen.
Entry-level Hearthstone is pretty nice, though. You can get in and get competitive pretty quickly with the fact that they give you so much stuff when you first start out. I mean, you're going to be tier 1, obviously, but you're going to be really well positioned to start out in the game, whereas any other tabletop game, you have to make such an investment just to get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hearthstone now, they offer the free deck, right? Once you hit rank 25.
Mm-hmm.
So you can start over with a tier 1 deck, or close to one right away. Meanwhile, things like you said, with tabletop games.
Right. So what I've told people, what I've always said though to people is like, for me, I never had to spend any money on this game ever. The first time I ever spent my own money on this game was when I bought 50 packs for the most recent set. Before then, I never spent my own money. But I also acknowledge that the only reason I was able to do that was because I've been playing since closed beta. Like, I'm still kind of in awe of the fact I've been playing this game over 6 years.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that long.
Yeah. It's just, it's crazy, but like, you know what? I love the game that much, even if I could probably say that I definitely wouldn't be as into the game as I am now if I didn't have THL.
I can say the same. I definitely wouldn't be as well immersed into Hearthstone, I don't think, if I didn't have THL.
Yeah. It's like, especially with the changes to the esports scene, you know, it's definitely very important to have.
Yeah,
All right, Marty, anything else you want to ask?
I think that'll be it for me.
All right.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great Saturday.
Yeah, you too.
You too, buddy.
Itachi.
And again, congrats on the win.
Yeah, I'm back just to thank Itachi and Lefty for playing on stream and congratulate Itachi on the match. I want to thank all the casters here, NHL NJ Fan, basedinc, and JR. You guys were amazing as usual. And I hope you feel at home at Schoolstone, and I hope to have you many other matches, Marty.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. I really enjoyed this. It was nice casting a game for the first time. So
Nice. I think you did a good job. I was just watching everyone and just having some fun here and enjoying a wild match. So thank you for doing it. I'll call it a day here. One last time, thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. If you want to play on Schoolstone, you can always just DM one of us and we'll try to have you live. Have a good weekend and see you all later.